Hey everybody, welcome to Fantasy R&R. I'm your host Ryan, and this is an episode of The Sports Bar.
This is Fantasy with Rob and Ryan, Fantasy R&R.
Alright guys, this is a big one. We're going to do the Philly Cheesesteak today. This one's renowned in Philadelphia, so do it the right way, you'll be beloved by all. Do it the wrong way, they'll send you back to New Jersey. What you're going to need is some thin ribeye steaks, some butter, an onion, hoagie rolls, salt and pepper for seasoning, and you need Cheez Whiz. We're going to start off by getting the ribeye meat together. Basically, you want to throw these like in the fridge or the freezer for a couple of minutes so that they get nice and firm, and then just come in at a bias and slice down diagonally until you get nice little thin strips like this. We're just going to work at the steaks until we get all of that. One of the real important things to note as well is that you're going to want to take these little pieces of fat and cut them off and get them away from the steaks the best you can. Keep that out of your mix. That's just going to turn into a hard piece of griddle. And the worst part about it is like the way that these are cooked, you're not even going to render down that fat because it's kind of a low and slow method. You're not going to get the sear that really breaks down the fat like you would if you're cooking a steak in a pan. Let's just speed up this next section for the other steak. As you can see, that's one of the biggest parts here. It's just getting rid of that marbled fat. It's not going to add flavor to your finished product. Once you have a nice big pile here, be generous with your seasoning. Make it look like Al Pacino and Scarface. There you go. And some black pepper. Nothing else. Anything else kind of muddies up the flavor of the cheesesteak. You don't want garlic powder. You don't want onion powder because you're going to be using onions. We'll move on to that. Take your onion, slice one end off, and then you want to see this top right here still there. Just cut down through it. That. Being a little stubborn on me. Then of course one of the most important parts is how you slice the onion after this. Get rid of that other side. Peel it. You don't want those slimy and real thin bitter pieces that are around the layers of the onion. And then we're just going to go ahead and slice it. Coming from the end, just work your way down. You'll get some nice, beautiful looking slices like this afterwards. Heat up your pan. I'm using cast iron here. If you've got some kind of flat griddle, that works even better. Add a little oil, let it get nice and hot. And then throw in your onions. We're gonna let those saute for a while. Just get a little translucent, a little softer before I come in with some butter here and toast our bun. Go throw that hoagie down, get it nice and brown on both sides. Don't toast the outsides. After that's done, go ahead and throw your meat into the hot pan. And again, this is not going to be like super sizzling, medium high heat, just a nice hot medium pan. That way we can get a low and slow method out of this steak meat as we cook it down. Just continue to kind of chop at the steak. Get into smaller pieces as you go. And then while that's going on, we're going to take this Cheez Whiz. I've got it in a little crock here on low heat on the other side. We're going to let that heat up while we're finishing off the steak and onion. And at this point, you want to just kind of re-season your meat. A little bit more salt and pepper on there. It's going to give it the best flavor when you go to mix it up with your onions. We're just going to go ahead and get a nice mix here. Leave the pile, continuing to cook low and slow while that Cheez Whiz melts down. Alright, let's get this thing put together now. When your meat and onions are done, go ahead and throw it into your hoagie roll here. That Cheez Whiz should be nice and melted. And we're going to take that and just drizzle it along the top of the sub. Be nice and gooey. It's got that processed American cheese taste. Anything else will just not come out right. Some people like to use provolone. Other people like to use bell peppers and stuff in their cheesesteaks. This is the original way to do it. This is the most authentic method. Just ribeye steak, Cheez Whiz, some sauteed onions on a hoagie roll. Cut that in half here. It's a nice ooey gooey mess. The best Philly cheesesteak you have ever had. Boom, there it is. Perfect for game day or the stadium. Alright guys, that's it. This was another episode of the Sports Bar. That was Philly Cheesesteak. I'll see you next time when I show you how to make an Italian sub.